I stare at a face I can't see. Feeling lonely and scared, how long will it be? Once it used to fill my soul with pride. All this hate without a home to call my own. Confusion, anxiety, reality, infidelity, reflections of what I want to be are distorted by an abnormality. I set my sights on reality, trying to forget the ghosts that creep my mind. Why do you come to me? All I have is a soul to give. I'll never see your reality. So why do you come to me? I hate this feeling that covers my soul. Without it, though, I can't proceed. If you want my everything, you'll have to lead me, for I can't see. Why do you come to me? give enough love. It's just a passing feeling, but it sure seems tough. You think about all the times you thought you'd give up, and then the feeling hits, so you make your own love. 'Cause you never really know how you can fly. 'Cause you never really know how hard you can try. And even though I'm miles away, I'll come along with you every day. I'll lead you through the dark, I'll be with you every step of the way. Walking through your mind, you see all the things that seem rough. You smile and laugh and play, but it's just not enough. The water's rising up again, and you just can't keep up. You give it a go one more time, and you pick yourself up. 'Cause you never really know how you can fly. 'Cause you never really know how hard you can try. You set the clock back just because you can. The days go by, you take it all in. The moment's here now, how do you begin? It's all too much, come and take my hand. You have to let go and know there's a plan. 'Cause you never how you can fly. 'Cause you never really know how hard you can try. And even though I'm miles away, I'll come along with you every day. I'll hold you up and show you the way. I'll take your pain and stand up and say, I'll lead you through the dark, I'll be with you every step of the way. 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 It's kind of a weird lyric for me, and I don't know how else to do it, but I had to put this in here. He'd be like, I don't know, why don't you just give it a go? And anyway, I had to incorporate that in here, and I just didn't know have another place to put it.
No, that's awesome.
All right, here we go. This is a new song called Back from the Mist. It's a full moon rising grassy hill late one afternoon. The sun is so still and the seagulls fly back from the mist and let you go once. Mistakes are hard to live with. A choir of angels can be heard. Reminds me of your face. You were my angel. Now I'm sleeping with the devil who saved my soul. The clouds will clear sometime and let the sun shine through. Oh, and the seagulls fly back from the mist and let you go once. Mistakes are hard to live with, so I'll let you go and fly back to me. Bring my sunshine back. It's been so lonely peeking through the clouds. Is that you saving my soul? And the seagulls fly. And the seagulls fly back from the mist. I let you go once. Mistakes are hard to live with. And the seagulls fly. And the seagulls fly. Back from the mist. Season 1, Episode 17. How's it going out there, everyone? Welcome to Live at Chance's house. For those who've never been here before, my name is Chance Munsterman, and this is my house. Hey, so just wanted to jump on. It's the Sunday show, and the Sunday show is always just a little bit different than the Thursday show, because today is more about talk, music, hanging out. But I did want to start off the show by first off saying, of course, as always, thank you to our sponsors at Joe's Tavern and Grill. We're your friends, and then there's Jimmy. Yeah. But the other great news is that this show, along with the last show, and the rest of the shows for all of July are going to be dedicated to my friend Trent Adams. If you can see in the scrolling bar below, it does say GoFundMe for Trent Adams. Search Give to Live, Live to Win. It is a GoFundMe campaign that we put together to help him out. And there was a long explanation that happened on the Thursday show, so I'm not going to go into a whole lot of it. You can read more about it on the GoFundMe page. However, I would like to add just a couple of quick things. So let's get in here and see what we got going on, because I want to give you an update on where are we at. So, first off, thank you to everyone who's contributed. That includes all my friends and family, everyone at Joe's, everyone who's reached out.
I appreciate it very much, and there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff happening, and it's been really great. So, first off, who's Trent Adams? Trent Adams is one of my best friends, and he's been someone that's I consider like a brother for many years. And he's fallen on some hard times. He's got some medical issues that he's dealing with, but it's not just that. I mean, it's insurmountable, the stuff that he's having to deal with right now. And I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew what was going on. You're going to see this thing all over my Facebook page. You're going to see it all over Instagram. I've been tweeting it out. I've sent a few emails. But what seems like it's going to be a ridiculously large goal may not be so ridiculous after all. And it's going to be very helpful. He needs some medications that's unapproved through Medicare. He's got to get multiple CT scans. He's got to get all kinds of stuff. He's dealing with a pulmonary embolism at the moment. And for me, if I had all the money in the world, I'd just give it to him. And I'm going to contribute the best way that I know how. But right now, the way I'm contributing is managing the campaign for him, getting the word out, using whatever social influence I may have in order to make that work. So for the entire month of July, just like I did for April, we did the North Texas Food Bank. We did it for part of May. I contribute to a lot of different things, including Who Needs Sleep, which raises money for Cook's Children's Hospital cancer unit, along with North Texas Outreach Communities for Cancer as well. So this month is going to be Give to Live, Live to Win for Trent Adams. Now, after this campaign's done, and I don't even think it's depending on how successful it is, because I think we're going to hit the goal, I think I'm going to continue to do it. I think we're going to roll with the Give to Live and Live to Win campaign, and if there's others in need that we need to contribute to, then we're going to try and figure out a way to do that as well. But the goal is lofty. The goal was $12,000, and after 3 days, drum roll, we are at $4,310. Unfreaking believable. It's just amazing. And everyone has contributed. I mean, from $5 to $1,000 people have put in here so far, and we just got started. So I spoke to Trent a couple days ago, and he's just in awe of all the generosity. And the thing that made me feel great about it is that he actually told me, he said, "Thank you. For the first time in a long time, I feel like I actually have hope." And you know what? That's all we can really ask for. That's all we can really ask for. So, look, I'm very thankful for that. All right, so continue. Please spread the word. All I ask is one thing. If you can't contribute, that's okay. Maybe if you'd be willing to give a share, I'd appreciate that very much. You can find the links, obviously, on my page. You can find it on the Music by Chance page. You can find it on the Joe's Tavern page. Any of the pages that I've been on, whether it's Bad Karma, my own page, Music by Chance, whatever it may be, you can find the link. But if you go to GoFundMe.com and search for Give to Live, Live to Win, or you put in my friend Trent Adams' name, it'll pop up and you can share it from there. You never know. There's lots of giving individuals. I do want to talk about one thing, though, which really sucks. Because, where there's something good happening, there's usually something bad happening. And luckily, it didn't happen to me, because I read right through it and thought just for about half a second that maybe it was legit, and then I knew it wasn't legit. But there are people out there that want to take advantage of situations like this, especially giving campaigns like GoFundMe. And I got hit up twice on Instagram by two individuals, which I'm okay calling out by name, because I think that they need to be called out. So the first one is Betty Moss. So if anyone ever does one of these and gets an Instagram message from Betty Moss, let's all be leery of that. And the second one, hold on, let me get to my trash, because I dumped this thing. I believe it was Allison and somebody. I don't know that it really matters, but I think that it's important to call it out. these two particular individuals, Betty Moss, also goes by Betsy Moss. I looked it up on Reddit, and this is it's a scam campaign that's going out, and it's just dumb. And people that do this kind of stuff is just, it's the worst. It is the worst, and I'll tell you in a minute. Let me get that name. I'm sorry I didn't have this up. I wasn't sure. Alexis and Michael Wheeler. So Alexis and Michael Wheeler, Betty Ross, or Betsy Ross, which, come on, right? Are out on Instagram, and they're preying on individuals that need help. Everyone from people losing their homes to people with medical debts to just about anything. I read a really sad story about a woman who had to get a emergency hip replacement surgery. I read one about a woman who desperately wanted to save her dog, and all of these things that GoFundMe do to help people out, whether it's my friend Trent or the millions of other people that use that service, there are people out there that are preying on them. So I'd like to use a few explicitives, but I'm not going to. Just shame on you people. Seriously. Here's what they do. They send you an email and say, hey, how much do you need? And I entertained the idea for about 3 seconds, like I said, and then they said, oh yeah, no problem. We can get you the rest of the money. All you got to do is pay for the transfer fee. Okay, you want to donate thousands of dollars, but you don't want to hit up for, $60 for a transfer fee. First of all, I'm not handling cash. Second of all, there's only one beneficiary. If you want to donate, you want to do it the right way, you'll find a way. Pull out your credit card, go to GoFundMe.com, look up Give to Live, Live to Win for Trent Adams, put his name in, whatever, and you can put the payment in right there. It's so dumb. Anyway, I'm not surprised. I'm really not. But at the same time, come on, people. We got enough problems in the world, much less trying to have someone scamming people that are desperately in need. So, anyway, all right, I get off my soapbox. Alexis and Michael Wheeler, though, and Betty Ross. She changed her name from Betsy Ross. That was, I guess, too stupid. You can find these and anything else. Find a lot of stuff on Reddit. I think people forget how useful that particular service is if you subscribe to it. If you don't, you should. Lots of great stuff on there. All right. So what else we got? Couple things. Let's talk about RDO. So for those of you guys know, Red Dirt Outlaws is one of the projects that I'm currently in. And our latest single, No Breaks, has been out for a couple of weeks. And it's doing pretty well. It's gotten about 7,000 hits so far on Spotify. And it's been released everywhere. But one of the places it's been released is a place called CDX, which is a network server that basically goes to all program directors for country music stations all over Texas. And we can get this thing on the radio. I need a little support. I don't think I can call. If I do, they may have caller ID and go, yeah, this guy doesn't count. But all of you can. Friends, family, whoever. And if you feel so inclined, I'd appreciate a call to your local radio station, wherever you may be. The one here that's the most predominant that will probably get some radio play if we get a few asks is 95.9 The Ranch out in Fort Worth. Give them a call. Say, hey, our friend's new single, No Breaks, we heard you guys might have it. We'd like a listen. Make the request. It'll get on the radio. That might give us a little bit of a boost, and I'd be very appreciative of that. So that's what's going on in the world of RDO. The song's doing pretty well on Spotify so far. It's just only in its first week, and yeah, make the request. So the Ranch is really the only one that's going to be a local station that can carry it at the moment through this program that we've got. All other radio stations, unfortunately, are controlled by, multimedia conglomerates like iHeartRadio, and I think Susquehanna Radio still owns some stations around here, and I don't think we're getting on there. But where there is one, there are many more, and there are many stations across the state of Texas. And if anyone out there from my friends in Austin, San Antonio, or Houston that are watching, I can get you a list DM me and I'll let you know who you can call. More than likely, it's going to be whatever your local affiliate country station is going to be, but not one of the main ones. So anyway, we'll go from there. Hey, all right. So what are we going to talk about? Well, I got a few things that I want to show, and maybe a couple more videos and different things out there. So we've talked about the Give to Live, Live to Win campaign for Trent, doing very well. We've talked about the RDO song, doing very well. In the scrolling title bars I started the show off with, so close, so close. I can't tell you how excited I am. I'm actually starting to get excited about the realistic idea that every step might actually hit 100,000 plays. And if you would have asked me 4 months ago when I put that thing out that it was going to get listened to that many times, I would have said you were crazy. There's no way that that's going to happen. And the amount of support has been absolutely overwhelming. I get DMs, I get emails, I get messages literally from all over the world. And I know it's not that big a deal because there's records out there and albums that get millions upon millions of hits. They're just backed up by, literally millions of dollars of, marketing campaigns and everything else to get them out from the 7 majors. And I don't have millions of dollars. I'm just a guy with a song that I wrote that I put out really for me. I didn't put it out there for any other reason. And but it's touched a few lives, and that's all I need. It's been pretty cool. But now it is kind of getting a little bit exciting to go, oh my God, it might actually hit 100,000. That's crazy. So it's at 85 right now, 15,000 to go. It's been averaging about 10,000 a week. You never know. Thursday's show might be a little bit closer. Next Sunday might be even closer than that. But, we'll see. I think I'm just talking out loud at this point. Anyway, so a couple of topics that I've been thinking about since last week. So last week we went over all kinds of stuff from the grab bag. The mailbox, so to speak, came in and said, hey, let's talk about a few things. We talked about bands I didn't like. We talked about bands that I thought were overrated. We talked about bands that have surprised me. Covered a whole lot of ground. And I've been trying to think about, well, what is it exactly with music that I love the most? Well, first of all, just like anyone else, I love listening to music. But if you don't know this about me, in particularly, I like to listen to vinyl. And I know there's a debate. Some people go, oh, well, vinyl doesn't sound that great, and it's scratchy, it's poppy, and, you don't get better quality. There's all of the arguments in the world about why vinyl is not good, and there's all the arguments in the world why vinyl is great. It's the only way to listen to music, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you what I love about vinyl. First off, when I was a kid and I bought records, I literally bought records, vinyl records. And it was before CDs were ever even a thing. So I have a particular affinity to liking vinyl. Second thing is that my dad loved vinyl, and he had a huge record collection. And I have all of them. He basically gave them to me because he kind of got tired of having to deal with it. And I took everything and basically got him a subscription to Apple Music, and he just listens to everything on his phone now at this point anyway. It was too much to deal with. And the reason why that is because when you own, good equipment, not just something that you can buy at Best Buy or on Amazon, having a vintage stereo receiver and having a vintage record player and having things that were built, prior to even 1983, that's considered vintage at this point, which is amazing to me still. But when you do that, it's kind of like having an old car. They're great to look at, and when they run, they run, and they sound great. But over the last probably 3 or 4 years that I've had said vintage record player and vintage receiver, I think it's been in the shop more times than I've actually used it. But when it does work, and right now it is working, it's a heck of a lot of fun, and it's very relaxing. And there's a lot to it. I mean, I could talk all day about why I like vinyl and what makes it awesome for me. I just, I love pulling it out and looking at the covers and looking at the inside jacket, and there's a particular smell that old records have that you just kind of feel nostalgic about. I don't have a whole lot of records. I mean, when I say I've got a bunch, I mean, I don't know, I might have 150. I'm not trying to replace my entire catalog of music in vinyl. If I did that, I would need 4 garages in order to make that happen, because I own so many MP3s and CDs and everything else that I've got after being a DJ for years upon years. But I do like getting all the ones that are my favorites. And I also like finding some rare finds here and there where it's interesting enough to me that, you know, I want it. And whatever that looks like, I want to make sure that I have the opportunity to take a look at it. So I wanted to share one with you. And this particular album is actually really rare. And a lot of people, this goes back into that idea of, you know, what bands do you like? What do you not like? And what are some of the things that attract you to music? And for me, while I wouldn't consider them one of my favorite bands in the world, I think that this particular album was so groundbreaking and so important to music that it's worthy of not only owning it, it's worthy of owning an original if you can get one. And I happened to get one. I found a guy on, I think it was eBay. I don't think he knew what he had. And it was one of those situations where I was like, all right, I'm going to bid on it and see if anyone else misses the opportunity. And sure enough, for about $30, I got a record that's probably worth a, you know, fair amount. I don't really want to say how much because I'm probably never going to sell it, but I do want to show you this one here, right here. And if you guys can see that, this is Pet Sounds from the Beach Boys. Absolutely, unbelievably fantastic album. And this was the one that kind of sent our friend Brian Wilson over the edge, so to speak. At this point, he was already not touring. There's been many books he's told the story. He's, you know, I can't remember exactly what it was. It wasn't borderline schizophrenia, but it was on the edge of that. And he just was such a mad genius. The voices in his head were telling him what he needed to do. And he literally, besides getting the guys in here to sing on these tracks, produced this entire record. For those of you who don't know what Pet Sounds included, it included Sloop John B. It included Wouldn't It Be Nice? God Only Knows. I mean, that's probably just the seminal track that comes off of that album. I mean, the whole album is absolutely fantastic. But this particular one is labeled DT2458. And it is in stereo. If you can find the mono versions that are the original copies, then those are the ones that are really rare. You know, we're talking like thousands of dollars if you can find one that's in mint condition. And while this thing has ever so slight fading, I mean ever so slight, none of the corners are bent. The binding is still in great shape. Everything about it, but more importantly, the vinyl itself is pristine. I pulled this thing out and took a look at it when I first got it, and I was like, I'm gonna get something bad. I was pretty convinced that the $30 I spent was gonna get me like a all scratched up record, because the guy said it was near mint condition, and I was like, I don't think so, but whatever. It's $30. I'd been looking for it for a long time. It's something I wanted, but I pulled it out, and it is like freshly pressed. I'd be surprised if the guy actually even played it more than, 5-6 times. The grooves are immaculate, and it sounds phenomenal. Anyway, so Sunday shows, probably going to talk a little bit about vinyl. I'll show you some other records I got. So I got some fun ones. I've got some really interesting ones. I've got a lot of Pink Floyd, and of course I've got a lot of, bands that I love. Everything from, Rush to Pearl Jam to just about anything. But speaking of Trent Adams, our friend that we're doing the Give to Live, Live to Win campaign, he's a little older than me, and he was really into a lot of great music that I was never into because I just didn't hit the same way when I was a kid. And that's, I guess, what you would call hair metal, hair rock, glam rock, whatever you may want to call it. But 80s rock, basically, that was everything from, Scorpions, Dokken, Cinderella, Poison to a certain extent. I like those bands, but I never really got into them, and I didn't know a lot about them. And recently, for a birthday, and recently for Christmas, I think, Trent got me a couple of records because like, man, I don't know a whole lot about those bands. So he got me a couple albums from Dokken and got me a couple albums from Cinderella. And I got to tell you, MTV ruined me on some of that stuff because when I first saw it, I'm like, man, what are these guys? Look at they're all dressed up, got makeup on and stuff. And I mean, it didn't bother me. I mean, I knew it was part of the 80s, but I didn't appreciate the conversations that him and I have had. Is I didn't appreciate how talented those bands were and the kind of music that they were making and how good it was until you actually just sit down, you forget about what they look like, you put on a record, you listen to the whole thing, you don't listen to one or two songs, and you just kind of immerse yourself into the moment. And there's some great stuff out there. So quick question from Dave. Was that when Manson was trying to get Terry Felcher and Dennis Wilson to let him in the scene? And I believe you're correct, David, but I only know that from watching the biopic that John Cusack was in. And I think that's correct. I'd have to go back and fact check that, but he was definitely in and around during that time. There was a lot going on. All right, so that's kind of the vinyl segment. I don't have any cool bumpers yet. I'm kind of doing this as usual, guys. I'm doing this kind of on the fly and working as I go through different things that are happening. So one other thing I wanted to touch base. I don't want to get political. I had a topic I wanted to talk about. I don't want to get political. There's a certain musician that decided he wanted to run for president. I'm just going to leave it at that. All right. I do want to bring up one thing, though, that's kind of cool. If you guys have not seen this before, it's really just a cataloging. It takes a little bit of time, but if you've never experienced it before, you have a bunch of tickets that you've gone to, concert stubs that you've kept over the years, just kind of recalling concerts that you've went to and whatnot. There's a great service out there. It's free. It's just a website. You log in. It's called setlist.fm. And it's one of the coolest things ever. And you think about music and where you've been and what you do. I always remember concerts, where I was at and what I did, but I don't always remember the set lists. And I don't always remember everything about them. But Setlist FM is really cool because they pretty much catalog just about anything and everything. And it's gone back for me as far back as 1987. So anyone who's collected set lists or were on the tour or remembered what happened, you can go in there. It's kind of like a Wikipedia for concerts because you actually have the ability to go say, yes, I was there, and you can edit things. You can edit the set list. You can add comments. You can talk about who opened. You can talk about whatever it may be. And we had talked about this last week, and one of the questions was, hey, what's one of the bands that surprised you the most? And we got into a conversation, and I told you that Bare Naked Ladies was a very surprising concert for me. And then one of the other questions was, who's your guilty pleasure band? And the guilty pleasure band that I talked about was Kiss. And the reason why is because, again, my buddy Trent Adams and also my good friend Mike Freed, who played with me in Bad Karma, they're both Kiss Army guys. They love it, got me into it. But it really got me into it more because I love the theatrics of it. I have to admit, I do like the album Rock and Roll Over. That's probably my favorite one of all of them. And I do like a few other songs that I could say I really like that song. But, overall, I mean, it's not like, I don't like listen to it all the time. And if I hear it on the radio, I'll turn it up and it's really cool. But I love going to the shows. I just think they're great. So I was looking up at Setlist FM to find out exactly how many times it is that I have seen them, and the number is 6. So I've seen Kiss more times than any other concert I've ever been to. The next closest two were Roger Waters. I've seen Roger Waters 4 times. I've seen another band that's one of my favorites. They're actually a local band, but they've got a lot of regional success and caught some national success. A band called Jacko Pierce. I've seen them 4 times. And then I've seen U2 3 times, Rush 3 times, and then the rest, there's a whole bunch of 2s and 1s. But what's really cool is when you kind of take a look at this and you start cataloging everything, Setlist FM will actually categorize everything. It'll tell you, well, how many concerts you've seen, obviously, how many different venues you've seen them at, by how many different artists. And you can actually go in and you can search stats for how many times you've heard a particular song. So just because you've been to a concert one time, 2 times, 3 times. You can actually go in and it'll tell you, well, you've been to Kiss 6 times and you've heard, Rock and Roll All Night 6 times. Or you can deep dive to see which concerts had, maybe deeper cuts or things that were in there. It's actually kind of fun and pretty interactive. I have attended 97 concerts of 73 different artists. Not bad. I mean, I've been to a few, obviously, but I've also been doing it since I was like 16 years old, maybe even 15 years old, I think was my first concert that I went to. First concert I ever went to was Robert Palmer, and I got to see him live. And then I think my second one was Heart. It was Robert Palmer, and then I went to go see Heart. Bad Animals Tour. These Dreams, all of that. I don't even think I really knew. By the time that Heart came around and I listened to the songs, I was only listening to the stuff that was on the radio. I mean, I was too young to know their back catalog, so I had no idea how awesome they were prior to the Bad Animals record, which was a great rock record, but, I mean, come on. Comparatively speaking to everything else that they'd done prior to that, good Lord, what was I missing? Anyway, I love Heart too. They're a good band. All right, so talked a little bit about that. Talked a little bit about RDO. I do want to say one more thing in regards to the Give to Live, Live to Win campaign for Trent Adams. So, not sure how this is going to work. Hold on one sec. I do want to give a little incentive, and I don't know if it's enough of an incentive for me to do it or not, because I'm not really sure how I'm going to measure it. I'm going to be able to measure it by 2 things. If you make a donation, you're going to get a gift. But I'm going to have to know how to send it to you, so I think it's going to require me to validate. You send me a DM, you send me an email, let me know your address, and I'll send it to you for nothing. But if you make any donation, any contribution whatsoever, let's say the next 10 people, if you see this, the next 10 people that make a contribution to the GoFundMe campaign for my friend Trent Adams, make the contribution first, send me an email. That would be chance@musicbychance.net, or send me a personal request, DM, or send it to me a DM through Instagram or Facebook, either way. But if you make any donation, let's say at least $1, what doesn't matter what the denomination is over that, but at least $1. I think that's the minimum you got to do anyway. I will send you a copy of my CD, Every Step. It also has 4 other songs on it. It's got Every Step, Like a Stone, Today, Why, and End of the Line. I had these pressed for promo. I give them out to people. I give them out to venues. I've actually given a few out to a couple of radio stations. I don't think it's going to do anything, but I made them for that. It's, full out CD, full cover. They are COVID free, by the way. When they came in, I wiped them all down to make sure that they're good. And I'll wash my hands, I promise. So I'll send it to you in the mail if you want. So the next 10 people, and I'll put it on. I'll put it on. I'll put it on the page, and I'll also advertise it as well. But I'll keep track as of, let's call it 8:45 on Sunday. Any donations, the next 10 donations that come in 8:45 on Sunday that I see on GoFundMe, you send me a DM, an email to chance@musicbychance.net, or send me an Instagram direct message and let me know that you donated. I'll go validate it. Send me your address, and I will send you a free copy of that. There's no real value to it other than what I spend on it, so I don't really care. But anything that helps, anything I can contribute to get people to go to that page, if you share it, I'd appreciate that as well. But if you can throw me a donation to my boy Trent, then I'll send you a CD. You just got to let me know how to get it to you. James Jones, thanks for coming and watching tonight. I appreciate it. First concert was Lionel Richie. Easy like Sunday morning. Love it. That would be a fun concert to go to, is Lionel Richie. Think about, man, all the hits, the Commodores, and I'd be curious to know what year, though. Was that Dancing on the Ceiling years, or was that like late 70s, like right after he left the Commodores years? Anyway, I love Lionel Richie. It's good call. All right, so it's 8:43. think we've talked enough and gone through a lot of the stuff that I wanted to cover. We'll have some more music topics next week. However, this week's segment, got a couple of videos we want to show you. So for those of you who've known me for years, you also know that I used to play in a cover band called Bad Karma. We've been doing it for a very long time, upwards of 17 years. 2 years with one incarnation of Bad Karma, and then 15 with the last one. And we've been on hiatus, and haven't played a whole lot. Now, we did do a show 3 years ago. We did a big New Year's Eve show. 2 years ago, we did our first Who Needs Sleep telethon campaign, where we got together. A year ago, we did the same thing. Now, this last one, we kind of split it up, and Ryan, the guitarist from Bad Karma, his band played. I played with RDO, and we did a thing, and we completely spaced out. We left Mikey out. So this year, we've made a dedication to Mikey that he's going to be playing with us again. So Bad Karma will be making another reunion trip around for Who Needs Sleep. That's going to be coming up in December. It'll be December, the first week in December. I'll have to get that. When we get closer to Who Needs Sleep, and then you can go find out at whoneedsleep.org, we'll let you know. I'll definitely post it up and tell everyone about it. But I think we're going to have a little bit of everything. I think I'm going to do a solo thing. I think we're going to have RDO out. I think it's going to be Bad Karma. It's going to be the Chance show. But they kind of give me carte blanche because I've been doing it since it started, and two of my closest friends run the thing. So, you know, I get to do it. It's cool. If other musicians want to join in, all you got to do is let us know, and we'll let you play. You know, I'm good for 3 hours at least, and I'm sure if someone else wanted to come in, I'd give up one of my slots. So, all right. With that said, thank you everyone once again for all the contributions you made to the Give to Live, Live to Win campaign for Trent Adams. It's raised $4,310 in 3 days. That's impressive. And a lot of those are from my friends. A lot of those are from Trent's friends. I've been posting it up everywhere I can, Instagram, Facebook, doing some emails. I'm not done yet. I'm working on a couple of giveaways other than my CD. I don't want to be about me, but you know, if anybody wants one, make a donation and I'll send you one. But I'm trying to score some stuff, and I might be doing an online auction. So we've got the entire month of July to do it. Or of course, unless he hits the goal before the end of July. I don't know. I might keep going after that anyway. The goal is 12,000. We're at 4,300. It's doable at this point, folks. It's very doable. It's going to be great for him very much if we hit that goal. But with that said, hey, so the reason why I was telling you a story about Bad Karma is I used to end all of our shows. We'd get the band together at the end of the night, and I'd do a thing on my iPhone. I called it the Bad Karma Video Blog. And I tried to capture as many of them as I could once I got started doing the actual thing. And sometimes they worked and sometimes they didn't. There'd be a few times, though, after maybe I had too much to drink. We'd be talking into my camera phone and I hadn't hit the record button. So there was probably a few of those that went missing. And I'm sure some of them were, you know, bad recordings and I haven't found them, or I accidentally deleted them, or whatever it may be. But the Bad Karma Video Blog is alive and well. And I actually have a few of those that I thought I'd share. You know, one or two here and there just for fun. They're funny more than anything else. And sometimes I look back on it and I go, well, I was a complete, you know, jackass, but, you know, whatever. We've all done that before in our life. And I'm sure I have plenty more embarrassing videos out there of me doing something silly one way or the other. But I look back at them at this point and I laugh, and I think it's kind of funny. But the segment I'll put out on Sundays now and again is we'll throw out a couple of videos from the official Bad Karma Video Blog, just so you can see some of the craziness and some of the things that we did and some of the silly sayings and whatever else we had. But that's about it. So it is 8:48. Got a few more minutes that I'll run this up, probably show a couple of videos of the video blog, show a couple of other videos, end off with in the night with that. Thank you all for watching, those that come in and tune in and week out. Last week we had, between all of the different sites that I posted it up on, we had 500 different viewers. And I know that the way it registers, it doesn't mean that 500 people watch the thing from front to end. But sometimes I repeat myself, sometimes I do things over, sometimes I'll throw the scrolling text bars up for 2 or 3 times during the show. simply because I don't know when people are coming in, and the replays get watched a lot. And I'm thankful for that, because right now we're doing this for a good cause. And I want to make sure that we all have an opportunity to be something a little bit bigger than ourselves. And if you have the ability to give, I appreciate that. If you don't, a share would certainly be helpful. It would be very nice, and I would appreciate it very much, and so would Trent. So with that said, we're going to end the night with a few videos, take you guys home. I might sneak back in here one more time just to say bye, but Season 1, Episode 17. Oh, by the way, also streaming on YouTube is official. I figured out how to do it. So I'm actually streaming this thing simultaneously, not only on Facebook Live, but also on YouTube Live right now. So if you prefer not to be on Facebook, or you want to give me a subscribe on there, then there's an opportunity for that. I think that's it. I've got some news that's coming up pretty soon too. Might be a side project. Don't want to give too much away, but got to get the music completed first. But there's some stuff. Oh, and Ryan from Bad Karma and I are talking again. Not that we haven't stopped talking, but we've got some ideas for some music, some original stuff. So a lot more happening. There's been a lot of really great things that has happened in the last 4 or 5 months. Every Step came out. I started doing live at Chance's house. We've raised a lot of money for a lot of great people. I'm getting a lot more creative than I ever have before. I feel more creatively satisfied than I think I have in years. And the ideas are flowing, and the people that I'm surrounded with, their ideas are flowing. I've got 2 singles out on Spotify right now. 1 to soon be on the radio through RDO. Make those phone calls if you can. Call the ranch. Guys, I can't tell you how excited I am about all the things that are going on, but I also can't thank you enough for all the support that you've not only given your hearts and your souls to the things that we've been trying to support, but you've also been very gracious and to me as well, and I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. So with that said, hope you guys have a great night. I might pop in one more time, but let's watch a little silliness happen here and see what happens. Well, it's time for another edition of the Bad Karma video blog, version 8.0. This is episode number 457. We're at Big Shots. It's January 8, 2011, and it's been a good time. So Terry, what do you think? How did we do tonight?
It was a good night, except for the Saints losing. That pretty much sucked. But other than that, we rocked.
You mean the Aints?
The Aints.
Yeah, sorry. Ryan, so how did you feel about tonight?
It was really good. We played very well, and yeah.
Next stop,
it was a good night. It was a good night. I majorly screwed up one song, but other than that, the night was great.
That's pretty awesome, because if he didn't talk about how he majorly screwed up one song, I was going to bring it up. But you know what? We all mess up.
The rest of the songs are really good.
Yes, the rest of the songs were really good. Amy, you want to say hi?
They rock balls!
Balls.
I was waiting for someone to say that. I didn't know when it was going to come up, but apparently,
like
once again, we rocked balls. Let's go find Mike.
Let's find him.
So, the video blog is on, and we're working our way outside. Good Lord, it's weird. Yeah. There he is. Mike,
There he is.
what'd you think about tonight?
It rock balls.
See, everyone's got to say it somehow.
This is like
Did I say
3 or
rock
4
balls?
balls now, isn't it?
So, hey, thanks for all of our friends that came out tonight. We really appreciate everyone. I want to give a shout out to Tracy. She hadn't come out to see the show yet. Say, hey to everyone. You know, you guys rock. Thank you so much for giving us a fan base that we can keep playing clubs like this. Next time we play is going to be up at Papa G's. Check out the website, badkarmarocks.com. You guys have a great night. Say goodnight, Ryan.
Good night. Peace.
All right, good night. Peace. All right. So it is now time for a special edition of the Bad Karma video blog.
Yes.
It is August 15th. We're at Bronson Rock, and we just kicked it in.
Major
ass. We kicked it in the freaking balls. We rocked balls.
Yes.
That's what we did. So we figured, what a fitting time to go ahead and do a video blog. We haven't done one in a while.
It's been
to
a
say
while,
hi,
yes.
Mikey.
What's up, Mike?
What's up? Let me tell you, this was the best show we've ever had, and I'm not kidding, at Bronson Rock. And he's laughing, and he's like, oh, don't rub it in. No, seriously. The girls were dancing. Everybody was up at the front of the stage. It sounded awesome. So, hey, hope you had a great time at your gig tonight. But tonight, rocked balls. And a special thanks to Tavern. He did a great job tonight.
Amazing
and
job. Yes.
We did
Great
awesome,
job.
so everything was good. But as always, we'll see you guys next time. Our next gig's at O'Shea's
Yes.
next month. For more information about the band, check us out at
.com.
Woo! Later. Peace out. You know, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, tonight requires a second Bad Karma video blog. You know, just because. So, number two, I was thinking about this. We were just kind of reminiscing about how awesome this show really was. I mean, it was unbelievably awesome. Terry's jumping up and down with excitement. Ryan, oh my God, cats and dogs living together. It's mass anarchy. Woo! Hey, Mike, sorry, bud. We missed you. It was great.
Missed you, man.
And as always, you can see us in the World Wide Web at badkarmarocks.com. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time for another Bad Karma, actually Acoustic Karma video blog.
Oh, this is going on the web.
This is
dude.
actually episode 12, season 3. We're here at the Moose Lodge, number
I was here with
1889.
him, and he said,
It was-
fuck him, and he said, yeah!
Wow, and so it's crazy, and everyone's getting loud, and that was Sharon's husband on the
No,
thing.
it wasn't.
It was Steven. I know Steven. That was Steven.
Anyway.
I am Mr. Black.
It's all good. So
Not pink,
we had a great
black.
time out here at Brett and Jen's wedding. Hope everyone had a good time too. As always, you know how it went. It rocked balls. We had a lot of fun. Ryan, yes, it did.
Rock balls, man.
It did. It was awesome. So check us out on the World Wide Web at badkarmarocks.com or on Twitter at badkarmadfw. As always.
All right, I got to step back in here for a minute because I got to reply to a couple of things, and that was getting silly. All right, hey, first off, I got to talk to Dave. If you're still on and you're watching, I don't know where it came in on the particular part of the video. Are you saying you use the term musician very loosely? I'm not sure what you were referring to. You might have to remind me because I'm going to have to go back and listen to it and just figure out what's going on. James, hey, so yeah, the Bare Naked Ladies concert. If you were, it was the one at Bronco Ball. And but I did want to jump on and say, hey, Sharon, thank you for wanting to contribute. So I'm going to put this out on there too somehow. I don't know how I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to put it up on my page. I'll put it on Instagram, whatever it may be. But Sharon has said that she'll donate a haircut as a prize too. So if someone wants to donate, we'll have to pick someone randomly. I think maybe we'll put names in the hat. We said as of 8:45, anyone who donates. Let's say that anyone who donates for the next hour, we'll take all the names and we're going to throw them in a hat. And then Sharon, I'll get them in contact with her and she's going to give away a free haircut. And she's awesome at what she does. So thank you, Sharon. I really appreciate that. John Mason, man, hey, thanks for stopping by. And I miss you too. And Brad Harvey, congratulations on all the success that you're having. And you're out in Florida now. And wow, what amazing trip I'm sure it's been so far, but it's probably pretty weird too, dealing with all of the pandemic and everything else that's going on. But I know that you're going to be ridiculously successful in your new role out there, and stay in touch. I know we will, and I hope things are going well. What else do we got? And of course, that last Bad Karma video blog. I knew that might catch some reactions. Or add the haircut to the auction. Hey, nice call, Brett, with the Audible. So you know what? We'll do that. We'll come up with some cool prizes. We'll make the auction happen. And then I'll have to figure out how to do the money. Listen, it's not like I'm going to keep it, and you guys can hold me accountable one way or the other. Besides, I don't want it. I'm giving it all to Trent anyway. So we'll do that. We'll do the auction, put the haircut up. I'll throw some more swag up there. I bet you might come up with some shirts too. Maybe a Joe's Tavern shirt, maybe an NBC shirt. Maybe. We're going to have to get a couple. Of course, I'm wearing the Batman shirt today, courtesy of Joe's Tavern and Grill for our friend Trent Adams. Lots of things happening. So, all right. Hey, Gates, thanks for swinging by, man. Glad you're checking things out. You might have to catch the replay because we're almost done. But I'm going to show a few more videos and keep things going. And I appreciate every one of you as always. So we'll get back here to you in just a few minutes. Stick around. As I walk out the door this morning with a suitcase in my hand, I think about all the good times we had, and I see those lonely people, desperation in their heads. I wonder what it's like to be out there again. My heart is a stronger thing, so I pour another drink. I'm just trying to find my way back home. I find a kind word in you. You made me feel like I'm brand new. I sit and cry and hope you want to. Isn't it funny how life can keep you down? And in the next 2 minutes, it's all turned around. When I thought my life was over, you came around. And now I see things so clearly. My little angel, my little angel. Walking down the street, I see someone looking at me. I know the pain it felt inside of me. I had to make amends of all the things we said, so I can get on with my damn life. I found somebody new, and I know she loves me too. You broke my heart, but that's okay, you see. All the pain in my heart subsides when she looks into my eyes and tells me that she will be with me. Well, isn't it funny how life can keep you down? And in the next 2 minutes, it's all turned around. When I thought my life was over, you came around. And now I see things so clearly. My little angel, my little angel. Somebody new, and I know she loves me too. You broke my heart, but that's okay, you see. All my pain in my heart subsides. She looks into my eyes and tells me that she will be with me. Well, isn't it funny how life can keep you down? And in the next 2 minutes, it's all turned around. When I thought my life was over, you came around. And now I see things so clearly. My little angel, my little angel.
I'm gonna walk to the place where I come from. I'm gonna walk and leave you behind. I'm gonna walk 'cause you made me love you. Can't believe I go so far away, but it lets me ease my mind. At the mountain I let myself go. The mountain listens, the mountain knows. You're gonna walk 'cause you say you love me. You're gonna walk, leave me alone. Now that you roam, you soon realize I've got another place to go. Can't believe I go so far away, but it lets me ease my mind. At the mountain I let myself go. The mountain listens, the mountain knows. You know you know. Trust the mountain, it gives me pride. But I speak to her like she's my bride. She doesn't play any games, she doesn't laugh at me. She just listens and she knows. Can't believe I go so far away, but it lets me ease my mind, ease my mind. At the mountain I let myself go. The mountain listens, the mountain knows. I can't believe I go so far away, but it lets me ease my mind, ease my mind. At the mountain I let myself go. The mountain listens, the mountain Thank you. Your trouble, and I mean it. Every guy here wants you, every woman wants you to leave. And I like that, and your tattoos, and the feel of your lips on my ear when you whisper by me the whiskey. Come on. Well, it's on. Put your hands like a candy apple red Corvette burning up the 45. Every little thing about you makes me wanna slam my foot on the gas. Oh, whoa. Baby, let's go. I bet you handle like a candy up the red Corvette, burning up the corner mile. You got me all red up, that fine girl, that little black dress is driving me wild. I wanna take you for a spin with the top down window, honest, get out of this place. Oh, look at you, girl, with all them curves, and me with no. Bet you handle like a candy apple red Corvette, burning up the corner mile. You got me all red up, red light girl, that little black dress is driving me wild. I wanna take you for a spin with the top down, wind blowing, honey, let's get out of this place. Oh, look at you, girl, with all that curve, all that curve, and me with no break. Every time you go away, I get this empty feeling inside. You know how much I hurt, sometimes I even cry. Then I look at your pictures and I get warm inside. And I wanna rush to where you are, just to let you know, just to let you know. Baby, you got my heart. Every time you look at me that way, won't worry about tomorrow, 'cause I got you here, oh yeah, got you here today. Giving life to an empty soul. Whenever you come around, it feels some more. 'Cause you're all I ever wanted. My life has never meant this much. You're the one for me in this great big world. Gotta let you know, gotta let you know. Baby, yeah. I got you here today. If I ever had to leave, I don't wanna be far from you. I wanna start my life and live my fantasy too. The only way that can happen is for you to be here. And then I'll hold your hand and tell you once again, tell you once again, baby, you got my heart. Every time you look at me that way, I won't worry about tomorrow, 'cause I got you here, oh yeah, I got you here today.